Welcome back to the Energy Counter. My name is Jacob, and I guess I'm the host of this channel. Kind of crazy. Before I started recording this video, I had 44 Magic decks. Most of them were Commander. So that means if the majority are Commander decks, I had at least 4,400 cards that were just kind of lying around in the background of my life. And one can never have too much Magic, but sometimes you can have too many Commander decks. So today we're going to go through my 44 decks of Magic cards and decide what's important enough to stick around and what's important enough to cut. Something I've learned is you can never have too many decks, but you can't always play them all. We started off with 44 decks in total. And I think that's a little bit crazy, in which 5 of them were 60-card decks and were available to play in Standard. 39 of them were just Commander decks alone. And that's a little insane. So I decided to fix that. My first deck was an infinite combo in green. Mono green, infinite combo using Ivy Lane Denizen, Herd Baloth, and I believe a Squirrel Tree, something that generated 1/1 squirrels when a 1/1 counter was placed on it. It was a really fun deck, but I just don't play Modern anymore. So I just really did not think that it would be pertinent, it would be important. So I decided to make it go away. It was a little hard, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. This second deck was my land sacrifice deck. It was also 60 cards. I built it in undergrad in order to face one of my mentors. He had a ninjutsu deck, and I wanted to beat him on turn 5, so I'd sacrifice all my lands to free sack outlets or really low-cost ones to get a bunch of 5/3s using Titania. I thought initially when looking at this deck that I would probably keep it. I was wrong. It was weird. I decided to make it go away. This next one is the Merfolk deck. It was just a tribal deck that I assembled out of random cards that I found. Bannerets, Anthems. It was Simic colored. Merfolk in Simic is pretty fun. Having some of the ability to rerun some of that stuff is pretty fun, but it just, again, I don't play 60 cards, so I decided it was not worth keeping around this time. Sidar Jabri. This one was not easy. It's a good commander. It has a draw mechanism. It has Eminence, which only 5 cards have Eminence in this game. I mean, with the official title, but functionally, it's just impressive. It's got 1 card that gives all your knights horsemanship, and that got me excited. But the problem was my dad had this deck, I had the deck, and I haven't touched it in probably 2 years at this point, and it just kind of sat in the background. I decided, I don't know, it took me 7 minutes, and I, at this point, knew it was going to be way harder to make these decisions than I anticipated. I needed this energy drink to get me through this because each one of these is like a child of mine. I couldn't let it go. But what was the point in keeping it around? It hurt, but it was necessary. Suddenly I realized how much of a challenge this was going to be. I moved on to one of my next decks, Yidris, which is a storm deck. It's pretty good. It's pretty high-powered. My friend group doesn't let me play it anymore because it would just win the games after storming off using Grape Shot. And I added the Aether Spark that I pulled recently because I love the deck. I just don't play it anymore because my friends tell me not to. But I thought in this series, if I was going to keep these, which I decided Yidris I was going to keep, I'm going to upgrade them. Tiny Bones is one of the classic cards in my collection. It's known by all my friends, all my pod. It's infamous. The problem is I just don't win with it. It frustrates me because I've invested so much money into this one unwittingly, and it has failed me time and time again. So I finally decided that this is the time I'm going to commit to making this deck work really well. It's got to be seamless. It's got to be able to keep up with my friends. And so I'm going to keep it. It's a key aspect of myself personally. This is Belladroth. He's a dragon. He's pretty good. It's one of those pre-constructed decks that my friend had. It hurt to look at this and consider taking it apart. It's got some good pieces in the pre-con. I remember changing it out from the original commander. I looked through and realized I couldn't keep this one. And that was a knife in the heart. I just felt it was too similar to a deck that my friend had. He had the exact same precon, but I switched out the commander. He had Willow Dusk and I had Belladroth, and that was the only unique thing to that gameplay. This one, honestly, I don't remember. It was a throwaway deck. I did an internship over the summer, decided to construct what I could out of the decks I had, and it had some like multicolored cards, which wouldn't be legal, so that's an obvious gone. It's the Cloud and Sephiroth deck. These were my other 260 card decks. They were good. They were pretty fun. They had some unique legendaries. But again, I don't play 60 card. One of them functioned really well, so I decided to keep it around. And the Cloud deck, honestly, it just wasn't my style. I knew I was never going to play in 60 card. Maybe I could use it for pieces, so that had to go away too. This is Eulogy, Shoreless. That was a challenge deck, so I'm keeping that one. This was my mono white deck. And the commander has this ability where you can pay 1 white and give it protection from any color. And I really wanted to show my friends how an underwhelming, underrated commander could really come back. I even put some like good pieces like Colossus Hammer in so I could beat up my friends. It just didn't go well. So that had to go away too. This is my Kosai deck. I love this one. This is one that I definitely knew I was going to keep right off the bat. It had so many pieces to it. It had an end goal. It was very focused and well constructed, and a very unique monocolored commander that, you know, enchantments, auras, encounters, and green, it's a little bit different than your standard Boros equipment deck. So that one got to stick around. Now, this was one of the new Edge of Eternity's precon in Spirit flagship, and I just couldn't throw it away. I literally just got this deck. The same thing with Terra. I mean, I just bought the deck as well. I'm not putting that away. Now, this one. Blim, comedic genius. I cannot tell you how hard this one was to look through, knowing that it should be deconstructed, but there is so many unique ways that this could have won. It just never has. I've never won with the deck, and I want to so bad. Blim is just such a unique idea of like giving my friends these like terrible gifts, and I called it Bad Santa. I literally had a pink deck box. It was themed around to be a bad gift giver, like intentionally so, and I don't know. I mean, when you have that like key piece to your command games, I mean, it's what I want, but it never works. So I decided to keep it. This one, I'm going to have to commit to making better, and it's going to be rough, but it'll be worth it in the end, I think. Now, this was Marin of Clan Neltoth. She's one of my powerhouses. I just don't think she was doing it for me. I felt like I could rebuild her a lot better and have more tokens that die to activate her experience counters. So while it's a powerful deck, I just decided this one, I'm going to let go. But I think I should build around Marin again and make her better. Come back with more vengeance. So it's gone with an asterisk. This was my, I think, veto? I don't remember this one, honestly. This was one of the Ixalan decks, and it had some amazing pieces to it, like Exquisite Blood, which is literally part of several infinite combos. It was almost the vampire tribal deck I always wanted. It had Elenda the Dusk Rose, but I just don't feel like it drew me in. So, I don't know, something with tribal decks, I just decided to be better if I deconstructed it for now and maybe rebuilt it later. I just bought this Final Fantasy 1-2. We're not deconstructing it. I got such a nice, beautiful box for it. It was a lot of fun. I've played it twice. We put it back. Oh my gosh, Wynota. Nah, this one we keep around. It was a very unique way to build around her. It's a soldier deck, not human soldier, just a soldier deck. You just kind of tutor out your soldiers to come onto the battlefield, create more soldiers, make your humans better. I mean, it's one of those almost undefeated decks in my pod, and I have to keep it around. So Wynota is going to stay. It's one of those powerhouses, will not go away. Oh my gosh. Summon the Blood Avatar. One of my most expensive invested in decks that I really wanted to work. None of my friends had a sorcery for a commander. I thought it was really unique. It never, ever paid off. It never paid off, and I was always the target, and I always had trouble casting stuff. So I just, oh my gosh, it just hurt. This was like my favorite child, like conceptually. It's aristocrats. It had a lot of key pieces. It should have worked. It didn't. It didn't, and it frustrated me. And I wanted to keep it, but I couldn't bring myself. Now, this was pizza time. Satya, fantastic. My dad got me this for basically a Advent. We would just slowly open up the decks, and it's fantastic. I mean, my name is the Energy Counters. It's an energy counter deck. We're keeping it. Animar, one of my oldest commander decks, actually, in circulation right now, has some amazing pieces. Itali, the CEDH version of him, with the flippability. I mean, it's basically a Blightsteel Colossus in the command zone if you want it to be. It had Coma, the Cosmic Serpent, some amazing pieces, like I said. But I just hadn't played it in probably a year. And it felt like it was just time to let bygones be bygones on this one. I mean, it carried me a long way, but I just couldn't keep it. Lathias, it's an interesting commander, but again, there's something with me about tribal commanders. They all just kind of feel the same after a certain point, and I just kind of can't bring myself to stick with tribal decks too often. Every time I have one, it gets deconstructed pretty quickly. So although she is a CEDH commander in some like play groups, she just wasn't in mine. So unfortunately, had to go as well. Prosper, Tomebound, fantastic commander. The card is skyrocketed. It's a very fun play style. The only thing I complain about and my friends complain about is it feels like I'm playing solitaire. There's a certain amount of times where I am just inadvertently looking and searching for my win condition and I cannot find it. So it's fantastic. I would like to make it better. So Prosper gets to stay around for another rotation of my commander decks. This one was part of my challenge decks. This one was Cathar, the Lion, I believe. It's a Planeswalker deck. It should stick around. Oh, this one hurts. Boros Equipment. Fantastic commander. Fantastic build. Almost never lost with this deck. I was bored. I was absolutely bored. I felt like it didn't do anything. I just had no fun. There was no challenge. It was just get as many equipments on the board, make my commander trample over people, and it won, and I kept it. But that's a lie. Later on, I deconstructed it. So this also was an interesting commander. It was 25 cents. I really wanted to make it work. Making copies of your auras and making copies of your equipments, it's pretty unique. And it's in a pretty unique set of colors that I thought this might be a fun thing to build around. And I played it twice. When you play something only twice and don't have like the urge to come back to it, I mean, that's when you know you just built it for the deck building novelty and it just has to go away. This was the other Edge of Eternity's deck. Obviously, I'm not going to deconstruct this one. It's way too early. I haven't had enough time to play it. I did make a recent video of me playing with it with my friend DJ Turkey, so I'm going to try it again and not kill myself like I did last time. This was the Incubate deck, and this was a pre-con. It had some amazing cards in it, and this was one of the key hangups is I could not decide to take it apart because there was too many niche cards that I felt like would never go in a different deck. And that bothered me so much. Unbelievable that I kept it around this long. I never played it. It was another Enchantress style deck. The commander's not even notable. I don't even remember her name. She's just so basic Enchantress that it wasn't fun. Like there's some of these things that just have no challenge to them where they're just too well constructed and there's no jank. I need a little bit of jank in my life, and this Enchantress doesn't jank enough. You know what I mean? So what ended up happening was it sat in my decks for a year and a half and nothing more. So that one was gone. This one was a deck I built for Thopters for my girlfriend. I was going to buy her the Stranger Things Commanders, and she decided she does not want to play Magic, which is totally understandable. Oh my gosh, this one was a hard one. My dad bought this for me in North Carolina when I went to visit a college with him, and we played them for the first time in a hotel room on the bed, just hanging out, and it's unique, it's mill, it's got tribal, but again, the problem I have is it was rogue tribal. This was the Secret Lair commander decks. It was the heads I win, tails you lose deck. I'm keeping it. It's too well constructed. This is the Master Multiplied. Honestly, I'd show you me shuffling this stuff. The sleeves were so slick, I could not show it to you, but that one's being kept. I just recently built it. This is my Red Death Shipwrecker deck. I'm trying to make it kind of edgy, kind of infinite combo E. The only problem I have is that I told my friends what the infinite combo was because I was trying to be a good competitor, keep them in the loop of what was needed to know and what they needed to be ready for. Unfortunately, it's really powerful. It has a lot of win conditions. It has a lot of infinite combos or potentials for infinite combos. The sub-theme is goading your opponents. The main goal is to draw them out. I'm keeping it. That's for sure. I did, in fact, proxy 2 cards, a Mox Opal and Pemin's Aura. Pemin's Aura is about $14, and I had just purchased Freed the Reel, but I just decided this was a deck worth keeping. This was one of the other throwaway cards from my internship, obviously deconstructed. This is Zalortha. I could never say the commander right. It's basically Godzilla. That's what it was in there. It was not impressive. I did not enjoy the deck. I built it out of the idea of that's pretty unique, having your power equal your lethal, but it's not going to stick around. Giada. Fantastic commander. Board. It's a tribal deck. It's going away. It was built during the internship. This is Lord of the Nazgul. This is one of my favorite ones recently. It's a bunch of spell slinging. What I'm doing is when I cast, I refill my hand, and I just create a bunch of wraiths. It's a lot of fun, and I want to make it better. So that's going to stick around for a lot longer. Marchese of the Dusk Rose. This was by far the hardest deck to deconstruct. Inherent to my play style is stealing my opponent's stuff. I want to take their best parts, use it against them. It is so much fun. And the theft mechanic of using those crappy cards that say gain control of opponent's creature until end of turn and then sacrificing it, returning it, so much fun. I just never got it to work. It never won, and it was very frustrating. So it hurt a lot, but it's going to have to go, unfortunately. Hopefully she'll be back. This is the contents for my Anzrak deck. I am building it right now. It's got some infinite combos using Tectonic Giant. So we'll keep that around. This was my Captain Howler deck. I just recently wanted to build around it. I got really nice alternate art for it. Standard discard deck. My dad has a deck called Sharknado involving a bunch of cycling, and I wanted to mimic it, but not be the exact same. So now we both have commanders that are sharks. So I don't remember this guy's name, but it was also one of the challenge decks that my friends made me do. We had a price range of $35, $20, and $50 to build certain commander decks. That's soon to be on the channel at some point. Hopefully, we will get around to playing those. So I do have those 3 challenge decks. And yeah, we'll just continue having fun making more of those challenge decks. It works really well. It's a human tribal, human historic legendary tribal. I want to cast as many historic humans as possible and buff them using their own anthem effects and their ETBs. It was pretty unique. We're keeping it. Now these are just some cards that I want to build around. Belby, I've been building around. Gev, my friend has, so I kind of want to build around it, but I just can't. Diadra, I don't think that's how you say his name. That one is also one I will build around. So overall, the number of decks we kept in that video, it was 20. It's actually 19 now. And the number of decks that are gone is 24. Cheers.